Welcome to another video from ExplainingComputers.com. This time it's another of our twice yearly channel updates. And in this one, in addition to letting you know what's going on with the channel, I thought I'd say a few things about Linux, about desktop PCs, and about AI. So, to get started, let's transport ourselves to another location. Greetings! Here we are at my desk, and I thought I'd travel here via Matter Transporter because a few of you have been asking, does my retro teleporter still work? And as you can see, it does. I've just changed the batteries. So, what is going on with the Explaining Computers YouTube channel? Well, since I did the last of these updates, we've passed another subscriber milestone, 1.1 million subscribers, and in fact we've passed 111 subscribers. And sadly, I missed that moment, but I did grab this subscriber number, which I thought was quite interesting. It looks quite binary. Well, broadly, I'm pleased to report that views on the channel are holding up. If you've been watching these updates for some years, you'll know that a few years back I was very worried about constantly falling views, but this channel did about 14 million views 2 years ago, about 14 million views last year. It's done so far 7 million views roughly this year, so as you can see, things are nice and level. Channel memberships is now also 3 years old, so thanks to all channel members for supporting the channel. They get a weekly update in text and every 4 weeks an update in video, and because channel memberships are going well and views are steady, the channel is in a good position. I'm not going anywhere, as far as I know, as in the immediate future. And because I've got the stable views and the channel memberships, it also means I don't have to do any sponsored content on this channel. I've never been paid to make a video on this channel. I never intend to be paid to make a video on this channel. I do occasionally accept a free product for review, very occasionally. The last was the Raspberry Pi 5 back in September 2023. And when I do accept a free product for review, I do flag the product, I flag the video as a paid promotion, because that is what YouTube requires you to do. If you receive anything of value to help you make a video, you are required to flag the video as a paid promotion. Some YouTubers don't do that, but I always follow the rules. And I do also occasionally, slightly more occasionally, accept a product on loan for review. So I'll keep a product for about a week and then send it back. I'll pay to send it back. I haven't received anything of value to help me make the video. I don't flag that video as a paid promotion, and I don't accept what to say from the people who sent me the product. The last of those I did was the Hi-Fi Premier P550 RISC-V board back in, I think, very late December last year. And the one before that was quite a while back now, was the DC Roma RISC-V laptop 2, another piece of RISC-V hardware. There is a theme here, isn't there? I accept higher value RISC-V hardware on loan for review on the channel. But other than that, if you see things on this channel, I have purchased it. I set myself a budget every quarter for things I will purchase on the channel, and that's how things run, so you get hopefully a totally objective opinion on things when I do reviews and feature products in videos. Final thing I want to mention in this respect is mid-roll adverts, because I've seen quite a few YouTubers recently making videos about mid-roll adverts and the state of YouTube and saying, oh, the experience on YouTube is getting worse because YouTube is putting mid-roll adverts into all the videos. And that isn't technically true, because most views of videos on YouTube are from people in the YouTube Partner Program, people who are earning a living on YouTube. And if you're in a YouTube Partner Program, you have a choice at both the channel level and the video level about whether you want to include mid-roll adverts. And so, for example, I don't like watching mid-rolls in YouTube videos, and so I don't put them in my own videos. You don't see mid-rolls on this channel, not because YouTube hasn't put them in, because I've chosen not to put them in, and I will continue to choose not to put mid-rolls in my videos. So that's in general what's going on with the channel, so let's move on to talk about computing. Right, let's talk about Linux, not least because Linux videos continue to be some of the most popular content I post on this channel. And fairly soon we've got the release of Debian 13, Trixie, and I very much look forward to reviewing that. However, for many people, myself included, the extent to which we can do all of our work in Linux is limited by available software. And in this context, just over a year ago, I made a video all about Linux video production, in which I did all of my video production in Linux for 2 weeks. And when I did this, I used DaVinci Resolve for video editing and a program called Autograph from a company called Next Angle for compositing and motion graphics. Autograph proved to be an impressive layer-based application and a decent alternative to Adobe After Effects. And it was available for Linux. And so, at the end of my experiment, I thought that in the future I would migrate from After Effects to Autograph as part of a transition to Linux for all of my video production. However, last month, Left Angle was purchased by Maxon and the Autograph application was removed from sale. And so it seems that the best alternative to After Effects on Linux has disappeared, with Maxon having close ties to Adobe and being unlikely to sell a rival product. And whilst I know that some people think that all Linux software should be free and open source, for Linux to get a greater desktop market share, it also needs some heavy-hitting commercial applications, and we've just lost an important player. Now, the Autograph story has got me thinking a little differently about Linux and software, and how in some respects Linux faces a sort of chicken and egg situation. As some of you will be aware, I do all of my computing in Linux with the exception of video production, and I am planning on moving video production to Linux at some point, once all the requisite software I need is available. But because I haven't done it yet, I hadn't purchased a perpetual license for Autograph. I'd purchased a 1-month subscription so I could try it out when I did my experiments, but I hadn't spent more money on the product. And that, of course, wasn't good for Left Angle. And if there are more people in my position, and I imagine there are, who are thinking of moving to Linux to do various things, but they're not going to do it till there's good professional software available. And in addition to FOSS, and FOSS is good for certain things, but we also need professional software for other things. If there's more people like me in that position who are waiting for everything to be in place before they move, that presents real challenges for commercial Linux desktop software development. Now, of course, the situation could change if Adobe decided to make its software available for Linux, even though I don't like their licensing model. But I'd share this Autograph story and how it's made me think about Linux a bit differently, and how it's got me pondering the challenges of commercial Linux software development. Right, shall we talk about these things? Desktop PCs, which I've also been pondering about quite a bit recently. And not least this is because a few months ago I built this, a $500 PC on the channel, and I was quite surprised that the content about this build was far less popular than my previous PC build videos. And I am aware that YouTube is a fickle place, you can't always predict how videos will do, but it does seem to me that attitudes towards desktop PCs are changing, and that this may have implications for the content I make on this channel. Over the years, there's been a trend in computing for basic entry-level computing devices to become capable of doing things that we used to require specialist hardware for. And today, basic entry-level computing devices often look something like this, mini PCs that cost from $100 upwards and which meet many people's computing requirements. And as Apple have demonstrated with the M4 Mac Mini, even applications like video editing can now be done very successfully on mid-range mini PCs, which all perhaps signals why interest in traditional desktops seems to be declining. Now, I am aware that many gamers still require a tower PC with a powerful graphics card, and I am personally still very much attached to the desktop PC form factor. I like a PC that I can specify and build myself and maintain, and in particular equip with lots of storage. And I guess that very much is why on this channel I've made quite a lot of videos over the years, not just about PC builds, but also PC upgrades and also desktop PC components. But as you probably gathered, I am now reflecting on that, trying to figure out where to go on this channel in terms of computer hardware, particularly because the focus on this channel is on lower cost computer hardware, and that is less and less easy to fit with the traditional desktop PC form factor. So if you've got any views and any ideas on this about the state of play of a desktop PC, whether you're moving yourself towards mini PCs, please let me know about that. Please share your thoughts on, in particular, what I should be doing on this channel with regards to computer hardware. Please let us all know down in the comments section. Over the past few years, we've seen a massive expansion of AI. And as somebody who spent 25 years predicting and promoting the advantages of AI, I very much welcome a lot of what's happened. There is no doubt at all that today AI is being used very positively in healthcare, in manufacturing, in logistics optimization, in language translation, things like that. And fairly soon we'll see AI used to allow us to have driverless vehicles and autonomous robots that will help many people. However, and there always has to be a however, doesn't it? However, I am concerned about the application of certain types of AI, particularly generative AI, which I think might be quite detrimental, not just to certain sectors like the creative sector, but also more broadly detrimental to the human condition. And indeed, I see in comments on this channel, there seem to be a lot of people who do not want to have AI embedded in their operating systems and applications. They don't mind using AI when it's useful here and there, but they don't want it so deeply embedded in basic computing. And once again, this leaves me in a bit of a quandary in terms of how I cover AI as an important computing development on this channel. In the past, I have made videos about things like vision recognition, and I've even experimented with AI image generation. And I've been thinking about, for example, doing a series called Digital Chris, when I look at the different tools that are available now to allow us to create digital versions of ourselves, AI avatars, things like that. And I might even experiment with broader AI video generation. But as previously in this video, I would welcome your view, your input. What do you think about the trend to put AI into so many aspects of computing? And what do you want me to cover in regard to AI on this channel? Well, here I am back for a final flourish to say a little bit more about what's coming up on the channel, more specifically than in the previous sections of this video. And for a start, I know with the amount of certainty anyone can have on planet Earth today, that coming up in the next few weeks will be a video called Quantum Computing 2025 Update. I've been making annual updates on quantum computing developments since, I think it's 2016, so that will continue fairly soon. And I'm also planning on making a video using this. It's a box containing a water cooler for a desktop PC. And I actually purchased this when I did the video putting together the 14100F i3 system several months ago, because I've never fitted a water cooler in a desktop PC. So it's something I've always wanted to do. Is it worth doing it these days? We can debate. I will debate in the video, but that'll be coming up when I decide to open this box and make a video. I also want to point out that in the coming weeks and months, you're likely to see more of me in the thumbnails for this channel, more pictures of me in thumbnails. Why is that? Well, it's because I've been doing various tests. Not least I did a test a couple of weeks ago on the video about Windows 10 4 months to go, where I had one thumbnail that didn't include me, one that did include me. And after a few hours, these were the results in the A/B testing on YouTube. And it was very clear that the thumbnail with a picture of me in it, for some reason, got a lot more views on YouTube. I've known for a long while that YouTube tells you to put pictures of people in thumbnails. I've never thought it was a good idea on this channel, but I'll probably start doing a bit more of it because if it gets more views, it's good. Well, it's good for the channel. Last thing I want to mention is that the last time I did one of these updates, I launched a new YouTube channel called the Christopher Barnett YouTube channel, a channel on which I talk about filmmaking, very broadly defined, model making, all kinds of maker stuff, that type of thing. And it started off really well. Lots of you supported it. Thanks for that. And unfortunately, various things in my life outside of YouTube got in the way, and I didn't continue to post on that channel as I'd planned. I'd planned to post once a month. But I will be getting back to that channel fairly soon, probably sometime in August, how I think realistically I'll get the next video going again. I want to get it back to monthly uploads. And the next video has given me a few problems. Basically, I've backed myself into a corner because the next video I declared on the channel and I've decided for myself is going to be about when I used to work for the BBC doing animation, cartoon animation. And that's quite a tricky video to get right. I've got to decide what to include in that video. I've got down here, for example, my old tools of the trade. This is some animation paper on a peg bar at the bottom here on a field grid. This is what we used to use to plan out shots and things for animation. And I've also got down here a box. It's quite heavy of animation paper. It might be animation cell given the weight. These are the things I used to use to put films together. Not all this electronic stuff, good old paper and pens and ink and all that kind of stuff. So anyway, that will be coming up with lots of other things coming up once a month on the Christopher Barnett YouTube channel. I'm going to try and get that to be regularly uploading again. And of course, I will continue to regularly upload on this channel on Explaining Computers. And I do want to thank everybody who watches this channel, who has subscribed, who likes videos, who interacts in the comments. It all helps keep this channel going as a great community. But now that's it for another video. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here, please press that like button. If you haven't subscribed, please subscribe. And I hope to talk to you again very soon.